Did you know you have the power to control your mind and emotions? It's true, and today I'm going to show you how. Imagine being able to stay calm when everyone else is stressed out. Picture yourself feeling happy and peaceful, even when life gets tough. This isn't some magical superpower. It's something that's already inside you, waiting to be unlocked. We're going to explore the amazing ability you have to shape your thoughts and feelings, and how this can totally change your life for the better. Think about a time when you felt really upset or angry. Maybe someone said something mean, or things didn't go your way. Now, what if I told you that you could learn to handle those situations differently? That instead of getting swept away by your emotions, you could choose how to respond? That's what controlling your mind and emotions is all about. It's like having a superpower that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and ease. But here's the really exciting part. When you learn to control your mind and emotions, you're not just changing how you feel in the moment. You're actually reshaping your entire life experience. Every choice you make, every reaction you have, it all adds up to create the life you're living. So by gaining control over your inner world, you're taking charge of your outer world too. It's like being the director of your own life movie instead of just watching from the sidelines. Now, you might be wondering, okay, this sounds good, but why should I care? Why is controlling my mind and emotions so important? Well, let me tell you, learning to control your mind and emotions can change your whole life. It's not about fancy tricks or complicated methods. It's about understanding yourself better and using that knowledge to create a happier, more fulfilling life. Think about it this way. Your mind and emotions are like the steering wheel of your life. If you're not in control, it's like trying to drive a car while blindfolded. You might end up anywhere. But when you learn to take the wheel, you can steer yourself towards the things you really want in life. You can avoid the potholes of negativity and stress and cruise down the smooth roads of peace and happiness. Let's get practical for a moment. Imagine you're at work and your boss gives you some tough feedback. Without control over your mind and emotions, you might get upset, snap at your coworkers, or even feel like quitting. But with control, you can take a deep breath, listen to the feedback calmly, and use it to improve. See the difference? One reaction could harm your career, while the other could help you grow and succeed. Or think about your relationships. We've all said things we regret when we're angry or hurt. But what if you could pause, take a moment to understand your emotions, and respond in a way that actually makes your relationship stronger? That's the power of emotional control. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about expressing them in healthy, constructive ways. And here's something really cool. When you get better at controlling your mind and emotions, you become more resilient. Life is full of challenges, right? But when you have control over your inner world, those challenges don't knock you down as easily. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel capable. Instead of giving up, you keep going. It's like building an inner strength that helps you bounce back from anything life throws your way. But it's not just about handling the tough stuff. Controlling your mind and emotions also helps you enjoy the good times more fully. When you're not constantly dragged down by negative thoughts or out of control emotions, you're free to really soak in the beautiful moments of life. You notice more. You appreciate more. It's like turning up the color saturation on your life. Everything becomes brighter and more vivid. Now, let's clear something up. When we talk about controlling your mind and emotions, we're not talking about becoming some kind of robot who doesn't feel anything. That's not the goal at all. Emotions are a natural and important part of being human. They give color and depth to our experiences. The goal isn't to get rid of emotions, but to manage them in a way that helps us rather than hurts us. So what does it really mean to control your mind and emotions? Well, it's about understanding your thoughts and feelings, and then choosing how to respond to them. It's like being the captain of a ship. The wind and waves, your thoughts and emotions, are still there, but you're steering the ship where you want it to go, instead of just being tossed around by every gust or wave. Let's break it down a bit more. Controlling your mind means being aware of your thoughts and learning to guide them in positive directions. It's about catching yourself when you start thinking negatively and choosing to shift your focus to something more helpful. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm no good at this, I should just give up," You could change it to, "This is challenging, but I'm learning and improving with each try." Emotional control is similar. It doesn't mean not feeling emotions. That would be impossible and unhealthy. Instead, it means understanding your emotions, accepting them, and then choosing how to express or act on them. It's the difference between feeling angry and lashing out versus feeling angry, acknowledging it, and then deciding on a calm, constructive way to address the situation. Here's a simple example that might help make this clearer. Imagine you're stuck in heavy traffic. Without mind and emotion control, you might start thinking, "This is terrible. I'm going to be late. Why does this always happen to me?" You feel stressed, angry, and frustrated. You might honk your horn, yell at other drivers, or arrive at your destination in a bad mood. Now, let's look at the same situation with mind and emotion control. You notice the traffic and your initial frustrated reaction. But then you pause. You think, "Okay, this traffic is out of my control. Getting upset won't make it move faster. What can I do to make this time useful or at least not unpleasant?" You might choose to listen to an audiobook, practice some deep breathing, or call a friend, hands-free, of course. You still feel some frustration, but you don't let it take over. You arrive at your destination calm and ready to tackle your day. See the difference? In both cases, the external situation, the traffic, was the same. But your internal experience and the impact on your day was totally different. That's the power of mind and emotion control. It's important to understand that this kind of control is a skill. Just like learning to play an instrument or speak a new language, it takes practice. You won't be perfect at it right away, and that's okay. The key is to start noticing your thoughts and emotions, and then gradually work on guiding them in more positive directions. One big part of mind and emotion control is mindfulness. This means being present in the moment and aware of your thoughts and feelings without judging them. It's like being an observer of your own mind. When you practice mindfulness, you create a little space between your thoughts or emotions and your reactions. This space gives you the chance to choose how you want to respond instead of just reacting automatically. Another important aspect is understanding that your thoughts and emotions aren't always facts. Just because you think or feel something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. For example, you might think, "Everyone at this party is judging me," but that's probably not a fact. It's just a thought. When you can separate your thoughts and feelings from facts, it becomes easier to control them. Controlling your mind and emotions also involves learning to focus your attention. Our minds are like spotlights. Whatever we focus on becomes brighter and more important. So part of control is learning to shine that spotlight on positive, helpful things instead of negative, harmful ones. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on solutions and possibilities rather than dwelling on what's wrong. It's also crucial to understand that controlling your mind and emotions isn't about being positive all the time. That's not realistic or even healthy. It's about finding a balance. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or frustrated sometimes. The goal is to experience these emotions in a way that doesn't overwhelm you or lead you to actions you'll regret. One helpful way to think about mind and emotion control is like surfing. When you're surfing, you can't control the waves. They'll come whether you want them to or not, but you can learn to ride them skillfully. In the same way, you can't always control what thoughts or emotions come up, but you can learn to ride them in a way that takes you where you want to go in life. As we explore this topic, remember that controlling your mind and emotions is a journey, not a destination. It's not about reaching some perfect state where you never have a negative thought or difficult emotion. It's about gradually getting better at navigating your inner world. It's about building a set of skills that help you live a more balanced, fulfilling life. In the next sections, we're going to dive into specific techniques and strategies you can use to start gaining more control over your mind and emotions. We'll explore practical exercises, daily habits, and mindset shifts that can help you on this journey. Remember, every step you take towards better control is a step towards a happier, more peaceful life. So let's continue this exploration together and unlock the incredible power that's already within you. Let's dive into something really important: how our thoughts and emotions are connected. Imagine your mind as a busy city. Your thoughts are like the cars zipping around, and your emotions are like the weather in that city. Just like bad weather can cause traffic jams, negative thoughts can stir up difficult emotions. And just like sunny weather can make driving a pleasure, positive thoughts can create good feelings. Here's the cool part. This connection works both ways. Your thoughts can change how you feel, and your feelings can change how you think. It's like a dance where each partner influences the other. Let's break this down with a simple example. Think about a time when you were really looking forward to something, like a party or a trip. Remember how excited you felt? That excitement probably made you think even more happy thoughts about the event, right? Maybe you started imagining all the fun things you do, which made you even more excited. That's the thought-emotion dance in action. Now, let's flip it around. Have you ever woken up feeling a bit down for no reason? On days like that, you might find yourself thinking more negative thoughts. Maybe you start noticing all the little annoyances in your day that you usually brush off. Those thoughts then make you feel even worse. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger as it goes. Understanding this connection is super important because it gives you a powerful tool for change. If you can learn to shift your thoughts, you can change your emotions. And if you can change your emotions, it can help you think differently. It's like having a remote control for your inner world. Let's try a little experiment right now. Think about something that makes you happy, maybe a pet, a loved one, or a favorite place. Really focus on it for a moment. Do you notice how your mood lifts a little? That's the power of your thoughts influencing your emotions. Now, let's go the other way. Smile, even if you don't feel like it. Hold that smile for a few seconds. Do you feel a tiny boost in your mood? That's your emotions, or in this case, a physical expression of emotion, influencing your thoughts. This connection between thoughts and emotions is happening all the time, whether we notice it or not. The key is to become more aware of it. Once you start paying attention, you'll see how your thoughts and feelings are constantly influencing each other. And that awareness is the first step towards taking control. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I actually use this knowledge? Well, one way is to become a detective of your own mind. When you notice a strong emotion, try to track back to the thoughts that led to it. Or when you catch yourself thinking negatively, pay attention to how it affects your mood. The more you practice this, the better you will get at spotting the patterns in your own thought-emotion dance. Another way to use this knowledge is to deliberately choose thoughts that create the emotions you want to feel. If you're feeling nervous about a presentation, for example, you could choose to focus on thoughts like, I've prepared well for this, or I have valuable things to share. These thoughts can help calm your nerves and boost your confidence. It's important to remember that this isn't about forcing yourself to think positively all the time. That's not realistic or helpful. It's about understanding the link between your thoughts and emotions so you can guide them in helpful directions. Sometimes, acknowledging a negative thought or emotion and letting it pass is the most helpful thing you can do. As we move forward, keep this connection in mind. It's a fundamental part of controlling your mind and emotions. The more you understand how your thoughts and feelings influence each other, the more power you have to shape your inner world. Now that we understand how thoughts and emotions are connected, let's talk about a powerful tool for managing both: mindfulness. Don't worry if this word sounds complicated or mysterious. It's actually a very simple idea that anyone can learn and use. So, what is mindfulness? At its core, mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's like being a friendly observer of your own thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. Imagine you're sitting by a river, watching leaves float by on the water. Mindfulness is like doing that with your thoughts and feelings. You notice them as they come and go, but you don't try to hold on to them or push them away. Why is this so helpful for controlling your mind and emotions? Well, mindfulness gives you a bit of space between you and your thoughts or feelings. Instead of getting swept away by every thought or emotion that pops up, you can take a step back and just notice them. This little bit of space can make a big difference. It's like pressing a pause button on your reactions, giving you a chance to choose how you want to respond. Let's try a simple mindfulness exercise right now. Don't worry, you don't need any special equipment or a lot of time. Just follow along. First, get comfortable wherever you're sitting or standing. Take a deep breath in, and then let it out slowly. Now, start to notice your breathing. Don't try to change it, just pay attention to how it feels. Notice the air moving in and out of your nose or mouth. Feel your chest or belly rising and falling with each breath. As you do this, you might notice thoughts popping into your head. That's totally normal. When you notice a thought, just acknowledge it and gently bring your attention back to your breathing. You're not trying to empty your mind or stop thinking. You're just practicing noticing your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Keep this up for a minute or two. How do you feel? A bit calmer? Maybe? More aware of what's going on in your mind? That's mindfulness in action. You just gave your mind a little break from its usual chatter and practiced being present in the moment. The great thing about mindfulness is that you can do it anytime, anywhere. Waiting in line at the store? Practice mindfulness. Feeling stressed at work? Take a mindful moment. Now, you might be thinking, that's nice, but how does this help me control my mind and emotions? Great question. Mindfulness helps in several ways. First, it makes you more aware of your thoughts and emotions. Remember how we talked about being a detective of your own mind? Mindfulness is like a superpower for that detective. The more you practice, the better you get at noticing what's going on in your head. Second, mindfulness helps you realize that you are not your thoughts or emotions. Just like you can observe cars passing on a street without being the cars, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. This realization can be incredibly freeing. Third, mindfulness can help calm your mind and reduce stress. When you're mindful, you're focused on the present moment instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past. This can bring a sense of peace and clarity. Finally, mindfulness gives you that pause button we talked about earlier. When you're mindful, you're less likely to react automatically to your thoughts and emotions. Instead, you have more choice in how you respond. Now, like any skill, mindfulness takes practice. Don't expect to be perfect at it right away. Your mind will wander. That's normal. The practice is in noticing when your mind has wandered and gently bringing it back to the present moment. Each time you do this, you're strengthening your mindfulness muscle. You can practice mindfulness in lots of different ways. The breathing exercise we just did is one way. You could also try a body scan, where you pay attention to each part of your body in turn. Or you could practice mindful eating, really focusing on the taste, smell, and texture of your food. Some people like to use guided mindfulness meditations, which you can find for free online or in apps. The key is to find ways to bring mindfulness into your everyday life. Maybe you decide to take 3 mindful breaths before starting your workday. Or perhaps you choose to eat 1 meal a day mindfully. Small, consistent practices can make a big difference over time. Remember, mindfulness isn't about achieving some perfect state of calm or emptying your mind of all thoughts. It's about becoming more aware of what's happening in your mind and body, moment by moment. This awareness is a powerful tool for controlling your mind and emotions. As you go through your day, try to have moments of mindfulness. Notice your thoughts and feelings without judging them. Pay attention to your surroundings. Be present in the moment. The more you practice, the more natural it will become, and the more control you'll have over your inner world. Now, let's talk about something that might seem super simple, but is actually a powerful tool for controlling your mind and emotions. Breathing. Yes, that's right. The same thing you do all day without even thinking about it can be a secret weapon for managing your thoughts and feelings. You see, your breath is like a bridge between your mind and your body. When you're stressed or upset, your breathing often becomes quick and shallow. But here's the cool part. By changing your breathing, you can actually change how you feel. It's like having a remote control for your nervous system. Let's break down why breathing is so powerful. First, deep, slow breathing sends a signal to your body that everything is okay. It's like telling your brain, hey, we're safe here. No need to freak out. This can help calm your mind and reduce feelings of stress or anxiety. Second, focusing on your breath is a form of mindfulness. Remember how we talked about mindfulness being a way to step back from your thoughts and emotions? Well, your breath is always there, always in the present moment. It's like an anchor you can use to bring yourself back to the here and now. Third, controlled breathing can actually change your physical state. It can lower your heart rate, reduce muscle tension, and even affect your blood pressure. And when your body is calmer, it's easier for your mind to be calm too. So, how can you use breathing to control your mind and emotions? Let's try a simple breathing exercise right now. Don't worry, you don't need to be in a quiet room or sitting in a special position. You can do this anywhere, anytime. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, counting to 4 as you do. Hold that breath for a count of 4. Now, slowly breathe out through your mouth, counting to 4 again. Pause for a count of 4 before starting the next breath. Let's do this a few times together. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, pause for 4. And again, in, hold, out, pause. One more time. In, hold, out, pause. How do you feel? A bit calmer? Maybe? More centered? That's the power of breathing in action. This particular pattern is called box breathing because if you imagine the 4 parts of the breath, in, hold, out, pause, as sides of a square, you're basically drawing a box with your breath. It's a technique used by everyone from athletes to Navy SEALs to help stay calm under pressure. But box breathing is just one of many breathing techniques you can use. Here are a few others. Deep belly breathing. Place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Breathe in deeply through your nose, focusing on making your belly expand more than your chest. Breathe out slowly through your mouth. This type of breathing can be especially calming. 4-7-8 breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. This pattern can be particularly helpful for falling asleep or calming anxiety. Alternate nostril breathing. Use your thumb to close one nostril and breathe in through the other. Then switch, closing the other nostril with your finger and breathing out through the first one. This technique is great for improving focus and balance. The great thing about breathing exercises is that you can do them anytime, anywhere. Feeling stressed in a meeting? Take a few deep breaths. Angry about something someone said? Pause and focus on your breath for a moment. Having trouble falling asleep? Try some slow, deep breathing. As you practice these breathing techniques, you'll start to notice how powerful they can be for controlling your mind and emotions. You might find that taking a few deep breaths helps you think more clearly when you're confused or calms you down when you're upset. But here's an important tip. Don't wait until you're stressed or emotional to practice breathing exercises. The more you practice when you're already calm, the easier it will be to use these techniques when you really need them. It's like training for a sport. You practice when the stakes are low so you can perform when it really counts. Try setting reminders for yourself to take a few deep breaths throughout the day. Maybe you decide to do a minute of deep breathing every time you sit down at your desk or before each meal. Or you could link it to something you do regularly, like breathing deeply while you wait for your coffee to brew in the morning. Remember, the goal isn't to control your breath all the time. That would be exhausting and unnecessary. The goal is to have this tool available when you need it and to become more aware of how your breath affects your mind and emotions. As you go through your day, start paying attention to your breathing. Notice how it changes when you're stressed or relaxed. Practice taking deeper, slower breaths when you remember. Over time, you'll find that conscious breathing becomes a powerful ally in your journey to control your mind and emotions. Now let's talk about something we all deal with, negative thoughts. You know those pesky ideas that pop into your head and bring you down? The ones that say things like, I can't do this, or everything always goes wrong for me? Well, guess what? You have more power over these thoughts than you might think. Changing negative thoughts is a key part of controlling your mind and emotions. It's like being a gardener in your own mind. Just as a gardener pulls out weeds and plants flowers, you can learn to pull out negative thoughts and replace them with more helpful ones. But first, let's understand why this is so important. Negative thoughts aren't just unpleasant, they can actually shape your reality. Remember how we talked about the connection between thoughts and emotions? Well, negative thoughts tend to create negative emotions, which can lead to negative actions, which then reinforce the negative thoughts. It's like a vicious cycle. For example, let's say you have the thought, I'm no good at making friends. This thought might make you feel sad or anxious. Because of these feelings, you might avoid social situations. And because you're avoiding social situations, you don't get the chance to make friends, which seems to prove your original thought right. See how that works? The good news is, You can interrupt this cycle. Here's a simple process you can use. Catch the thought. The first step is to notice when you're having a negative thought. This takes practice, but the more you do it, the better you'll get. Challenge the thought. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? Is it helpful? What evidence do I have for and against this thought? Change the thought. Come up with a more balanced or positive thought to replace the negative one. Let's try this out with an example. Say you're about to give a presentation at work, and you catch yourself thinking, I'm going to mess this up completely. Here's how you might use the process. Catch. You notice the thought, I'm going to mess this up completely. Challenge. Is this really true? Have you messed up every presentation you've ever given? Probably not. Is this thought helpful? Definitely not. It's just making you more nervous. Change. You might change the thought to something like, this presentation might be challenging, but I've prepared well and I'll do my best. See the difference? The new thought acknowledges that the situation might be difficult, but it's also more balanced and encouraging. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, try, I'm still learning and improving. Instead of, this always happens to me, try, this is a difficult situation, but it's not permanent. Instead of, I'll never be able to do this, try, this is challenging, but I can take it one step at a time. Remember, the goal isn't to force yourself to think positively all the time. That's not realistic or even helpful. The goal is to challenge thoughts that are overly negative or unhelpful and replace them with thoughts that are more balanced and constructive. As you practice this, you might find it helpful to keep a thought journal. When you notice a negative thought, write it down. Then write down how you challenged it and what you changed it to. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your thinking, and you'll get better at changing negative thoughts. It's important to be patient with yourself as you learn this skill. Changing thought patterns takes time and practice. You're literally rewiring your brain, and that doesn't happen overnight. Be kind to yourself in the process. Celebrate the times when you successfully catch and change a negative thought, no matter how small it might seem. Also, remember that some negative thoughts might be pointing to real problems that need addressing. The key is to approach these thoughts in a balanced, constructive way that helps you solve problems rather than just feeling bad about them. As you get better at changing negative thoughts, you'll likely notice that your emotions start to shift too. You might feel more confident, more optimistic, and better able to handle life's challenges. And that's the power of taking control of your thoughts. Now that we've talked about changing negative thoughts, let's flip the coin and focus on creating positive emotions. This isn't just about feeling good, although that's certainly nice. Positive emotions can actually help you think more creatively, build stronger relationships, and handle stress better. It's like giving your mind and body a boost of energy and resilience. So, how do we go about creating positive emotions? Well, one powerful way is to actively choose to focus on good things. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about intentionally directing your attention to the positive aspects of your life, even or especially when things are tough. One great way to do this is through a gratitude practice. Gratitude is like a superpower for creating positive emotions. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're training your mind to notice the good things in your life. And the more you notice the good things, the more good things you tend to experience. It's like tuning your radio to the good stuff channel. Here's a simple gratitude exercise you can try. Each day, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for your morning coffee, or for a text from a friend, or for the comfy chair you're sitting in right now. The key is to really feel the gratitude, not just list things off. You might want to keep a gratitude journal. This is simply a place where you write down the things you're grateful for. Writing them down can make them feel more real and can help you remember them when you're having a tough day. Plus, over time, you'll have a whole collection of good things to look back on. Another way to create positive emotions is through acts of kindness. When you do something nice for someone else, it not only makes them feel good, it makes you feel good too. This could be as simple as holding the door for someone, giving a genuine compliment, or helping a coworker with a task. Try to do one small act of kindness each day and notice how it affects your mood. Celebrating small wins is another great way to boost positive emotions. Often, We focus on big goals and forget to appreciate the small steps along the way. Did you finish a task you've been putting off? Celebrate that. Did you try something new, even if it didn't work out perfectly? That's worth celebrating too. By acknowledging these small victories, you're training your brain to notice and appreciate progress, which can help motivate you and make you feel more positive overall. Physical activity is also a powerful tool for creating positive emotions. Exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. This doesn't mean you need to run a marathon or spend hours at the gym. Even a short walk, a quick dance party in your living room, or some simple stretches can help lift your mood. Another technique is to use positive visualization. This involves imagining positive future scenarios in vivid detail. For example, you might visualize yourself succeeding at a task you're nervous about, or imagine a peaceful, happy scene when you're feeling stressed. The more details you can imagine, sights, sounds, smells, feelings, the more powerful this can be. Music is another fantastic tool for creating positive emotions. Create a playlist of songs that make you feel good, energized, or peaceful, whatever you need at the moment, and turn to it when you need a mood boost. Remember, creating positive emotions isn't about forcing yourself to be happy all the time. That's not realistic or even desirable. It's about actively cultivating positive experiences and learning to savor them when they occur. It's about building a reserve of good feelings that can help you weather the tough times more easily. As you practice these techniques, you'll likely find that positive emotions start to come more naturally. You'll get better at noticing the good things in your life, and you'll have more tools at your disposal for lifting your mood when you need to. And the best part? Positive emotions tend to build on themselves. The more you experience them, the easier they become to create and maintain. Now, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial for controlling your mind and emotions: self-care. You might have heard this term thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean, and why is it so important? Self-care is all about taking care of your whole self, your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's like being your own best friend, making sure you have what you need to feel good and function well. And here's the thing. When you take good care of yourself, you're in a much better position to manage your thoughts and emotions. Think of it this way. Your mind and body are connected. When your body feels good, it's easier for your mind to feel good too. And when your mind is in a good place, you're more likely to make choices that are good for your body. It's a positive cycle that starts with taking care of yourself. So, what does self-care look like in practice? Well, it can involve a lot of different things, but let's start with some basics. Sleep. Getting enough good quality sleep is super important for your mental and emotional well-being. When you're well-rested, you're better able to handle stress, make good decisions, and keep your emotions in check. Try to establish a regular sleep schedule and create a relaxing bedtime routine. Exercise. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Regular physical activity isn't just good for your body, it's great for your mind too. Exercise can help reduce stress, improve your mood, and even boost your self-esteem. Find a type of movement you enjoy, whether that's walking, dancing, swimming, or anything else, and try to do it regularly. Healthy eating. The food you eat can have a big impact on how you feel. Eating a balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can help stabilize your mood and give you more energy. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel, and try to eat in a way that makes your body and mind feel good. But self-care isn't just about these physical aspects. It's also about taking care of your mental and emotional needs. This might include setting boundaries. Learning to say no to things that drain you and yes to things that energize you is a crucial part of self-care. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Mindful relaxation. This could be meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and relax. These practices can help reduce stress and improve your overall emotional well-being. Pursuing hobbies. Doing things you enjoy just for the sake of enjoyment is an important form of self-care. Whether it's reading, painting, gardening, or playing music, make time for activities that bring you joy. Connecting with others. Humans are social creatures, and maintaining healthy relationships is an important part of self-care. Make time to connect with friends and loved ones regularly. seeking help when needed. Sometimes, self-care means recognizing when you need support and reaching out for it. This could mean talking to a friend, seeing a therapist, or joining a support group. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary. When you take care of yourself, you're better able to take care of others and handle life's challenges. It's like the safety instructions on an airplane. You need to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help others with theirs. It's also important to note that self-care looks different for everyone. What feels nurturing and rejuvenating to one person might feel stressful or boring to another. The key is to find what works for you and to make it a regular part of your life. As you focus on self-care, you might notice that it becomes easier to control your mind and emotions. When you're well-rested, well-nourished, and generally taking good care of yourself, you have more resources available to deal with challenging thoughts and feelings. You're starting from a stronger, more balanced place. So, make self-care a priority. Treat it as an essential part of your day, not just something you do when you have extra time. Your mind and emotions will thank you for it. We've covered a lot of ground in our exploration of how to control your mind and emotions. Let's take a moment to recap the key points and think about how you can move forward with this knowledge. We started by understanding the powerful connection between our thoughts and emotions and how they influence each other in a constant dance. We learned that by becoming aware of this connection, we can start to guide both our thoughts and our feelings in more positive directions. We explored mindfulness as a tool for observing our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. Remember, mindfulness is like being a friendly observer of your own mind, noticing what's happening without judgment. We discovered the power of breathing, a simple yet incredibly effective tool for calming our minds and bodies. Whether it's box breathing, deep belly breathing, or any other technique, conscious breathing can be your anchor in stressful moments. We talked about how to change negative thoughts, challenging and reframing them to create a more balanced, constructive inner dialogue. This isn't about forcing positivity, but about finding more helpful ways of thinking. We explored ways to actively create positive emotions, from practicing gratitude to performing acts of kindness. Remember, positive emotions aren't just nice to have, they can actually broaden your perspective and build your resilience. Finally, we discussed the crucial importance of self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional needs isn't selfish, it's necessary for maintaining balance and well-being. As you move forward from here, remember that controlling your mind and emotions is a skill. Like any skill, it takes practice. You won't be perfect at it right away, and that's okay. The key is to keep practicing, to be patient with yourself, and to celebrate your progress along the way. Start small. Maybe choose one technique from what we've discussed, like mindful breathing or gratitude practice, and commit to trying it for a week. See how it affects your thoughts and emotions. Then, gradually add more techniques as you feel ready. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts or emotions. That wouldn't be realistic or even desirable. The goal is to create a healthier relationship with your thoughts and emotions, to be able to guide them in helpful directions rather than being controlled by them. As you practice these techniques, you may find that you become more resilient in the face of life's challenges. You may notice that you're able to bounce back more quickly from setbacks, or that you're better able to maintain your calm in stressful situations. You might also find that your relationships improve as you get better at managing your own thoughts and emotions. When we're more balanced internally, we're often better able to connect with others and respond to them in helpful ways. Most importantly, as you gain more control over your mind and emotions, you may discover a greater sense of freedom and empowerment in your life. You're no longer at the mercy of every thought or feeling that comes along. You have tools to guide your inner experience. Remember, this journey of controlling your mind and emotions is just that, a journey. It's not about reaching a perfect destination, but about continually growing and learning. There will be ups and downs along the way, and that's perfectly normal. So, as you go forward from here, be kind to yourself. Celebrate your successes, learn from your challenges, and keep practicing. You have within you the power to shape your thoughts, guide your emotions, and create a life of greater balance and fulfillment. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of how to control your mind and emotions. I hope you found it helpful and that you feel empowered to take the next steps in your journey. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to practice these skills and to create the inner world you want to live in. You've got this.